Well, first of all things, even in painful moments, I still thank Jesus, because it's as painful as this is, it hurts to still give him the glory. And my heart hurts for our team because I'm proud of how they battled this week. Some guys out, and guys stepped up and had every opportunity to win the game. And guys, that's on me as a coach. I don't say that lightly. I don't say that to just say the tagline that a coach says. It kills me that we didn't win this football game for our program. It kills me. And I got to look at why in all three phases we couldn't find a way to win. Yeah, there was weather. Yeah, there was injuries. But it's on both sides. That is what it is. That's called college football week 10. It is what it is. But in all three phases, we didn't do enough. It was a one-score game. We knew it was going to be an absolute slugfest, which was just where we were offensively, where the weather was. We got worn down too much on defense. We can't have a team rush for over 200 yards on us in any game, and it's very fixable. We didn't play with the right fundamentals and technique. We missed way too many tackles. And then offensively, we had a couple critical penalties that hurt us in drives. We couldn't sustain some of the drives we needed to. Had a missed field goal late in the game that would have made it a one-score game. Just some of those things we didn't execute enough. And I got to look at why. What are we doing? Proud of how we're prepping. Proud of how our guys are practicing. But we're not doing it enough in the game. So got to look at it. We've got a great staff. I believe in our staff. I believe in our players. And I take full responsibility to get fixed.
For Max, how tough is it to put a quarterback in for his first start on the road in conditions like that? Just how much tougher does that make it?
It's tough. I mean, on the road, in an environment, the weather, all that kind of stuff, absolutely is tough. But he battled. I mean, we knew we needed to put him in certain situations to execute, and there were moments he did. There's obviously some moments where we want to have it back. But he did a good job tonight. We went in knowing we don't need Max to beat the Aztecs. We need our whole team to, and our home team did not do enough to win the game.
In terms of the game plan, though, running, I mean, you guys ran a ton. Was it you just didn't feel great about him throwing the ball more, or why maybe not giving him a little more of a shot to throw the ball?
Yeah, I mean, in that game, obviously, we're going to look at it, just see. We knew going in this was going to be an absolute slugfest. We needed to run the football. I mean, San Diego State threw for 25 yards, and beat us 17-7. So we knew going in with those elements, throwing the football is tough. Obviously, we had to later in the game. It got a little bit drier late in the game, so we could. But we got to look at it. We got to be more explosive on offense. We got to score more points. But it's all three phases. We didn't do enough to get off the field on some third down situations. A 4th and 1 that went for 30, missed tackle in the backfield on our defense. So it's all three phases.
Was there any thought to, if you're going to run the ball so much, either go Wildcat or go with a mobile guy like Zeke or something if you weren't really going to have Max throw much?
Yeah, we had a couple different options in the game. We didn't get to them, and we'll look at it and see some things that we missed, PJ, because obviously we did. Like I said, as coaches, we got to do a better job. We had some things going in the game that we didn't use. Got to see kind of why, but we got to execute better.
Well, you like to see some sort of variation in the play call, specifically in the game.
Yeah, guys, in a game like that, we knew going in that this was going to be, like I want to say again, we knew it was going to be a slugfest, and everyone's going to have their opinion of what we should have done more. We're going to look at, we're not going to run from it. We obviously got to have a better plan. We got to put our guys in better situations, because 7 points, it's going to be really hard to win a game scoring 7 points. I'm not running from that. But it's all three phases. You win and lose as a football team, and we didn't do enough in all three phases. But we got to score more points. So having more variation, we tried some different things that didn't work out early. We maybe got to come back to them. We can't run from those things, but I'm gonna look at it. We're gonna have good communication with the staff and see why we got stopped at critical moments.
With the run defense, just what do you think the struggles were there?
Yeah, a multitude of things. So first off, there's some times in the ball where we were getting driven off the ball front. We were not winning up front like we've been able to do a lot this season, and it's hard to fit front if your D-line's not winning at the point of attack. And then we had a couple fits in the back end that were off. We didn't get a cutback player on the big run, and then we missed a lot of tackles. And so in a game like that, every yard matters, and we didn't do enough.
You talked about Lucky Sutton earlier this week, but the 1-2 punch of Sutton and Washington, just how tough is that to defend?
Yeah, when you go in, I mean, they did a really good job running the football on almost everybody they played. I believe in our defense, I believe in our run defense, but it wasn't as good as it needed to be tonight. We knew going in, we needed stops. We needed to play. We knew it was going to be tough to score points with the elements and just what we had going on, and we didn't do enough.
That's 4 games where you scored 7 points this year. I mean, I know you said you're going to look at it, but in terms of who's calling the plays and just that whole how that's all working, is that, I mean, what's your confidence level there?
I have absolute confidence in Nate Pollard. Absolute confidence in him. Absolute confidence in our offensive staff. But obviously, it's not good enough right now. I'm not running from that. 7 points in a game. It's going to be really, really hard to win a game scoring 7 points. Not running from the facts, but I don't lose the trust in our coaches. We got to look at it. We got to see what are we missing, what are we teaching, why are we not able to create more explosive plays, and we weren't. And I got to see why we didn't get to some of those things and what maybe scared us away from it.
What do you think of Max back there tonight? I know he didn't look all the time.
I was proud of him. I was proud of it. I mean, we didn't have any turnovers, which is a big part in the game. We get out with the weather and everything that was going on. No turnovers. He made smart decisions with the football. Ball was on the ground one time. We were able to get it. But I'm proud of what he did.
What's the message in terms of 2 games left and how you don't really control your destiny anymore for anything? I mean, where do you go from here?
Yeah, I mean, as painful as it is, we got 2 promise games. And as much as it absolutely kills me for this program, for our fan base, that we're sitting at 6-4, 10 games in, nobody likes that. Start with me. But we got to finish what we started. I mean, we got senior night coming up in a week. Probably the last game on the blue these seniors will play. We got to protect the blue. That's what we control right now. And we don't control our own destiny, so I'm not going to worry about it. We controlled our own destiny last week, this week, and we didn't handle business. And that's on us. We had every opportunity to, and we didn't handle business. Kills me, but we do got a really good Colorado State team that I know is going to be hungry coming in. And it's senior night. We got to protect the blue.
In terms of your game plan, I mean, obviously you did what you did because you thought it would work, but how confident were you that many runs and not really having that extra very much? I mean, you obviously felt pretty confident that was going to work tonight?
We did. I mean, obviously, going into the game, you play the game to win. And we went through practice knowing we're going to pick our spots and take our shots. Obviously, the weather can affect some of those things. Obviously, it wasn't good enough. But we absolutely believed as a staff the game plan we put together, offensively, defensively, especially, was going to be enough to win this football game, but it wasn't. So we got to look at it to see what do we miss, what do we need to add, and how do we put our players in better spots.
Now you've got the hindsight, just looking back at, coming off a bye week, August time to prepare. How would you say that bye week was used?
Obviously not good enough. I mean, we got 2 weeks to prepare for a team, and we didn't play good enough. So obviously didn't do a good enough job, and that's on me to look at why.
Spencer, I think you guys have allowed 52 total yards passing in the last 2 games, and I mean that usually would assume to be winning football. But I know you brought the run defense into this. How bad does that need to fix as well, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, we got to stop the run here. I mean, these are the games we're in. And Fresno State and San Diego State, like to your point, combined for whatever, 50 yards passing, and we lost. So obviously we need to make sure our offense is more explosive. We've got to put more points on the board. But defensively, you can't run from the fact that teams are able to run the football consistently. And that's not championship football if we don't stop the run.
You mentioned the penalties. Sire had a couple costly ones. I don't know when the last time was I saw an offensive face mask called, but that was a big one, and then obviously the hold.
Yeah, those are critical penalties, man. I mean, it goes from a first down to 1st and 25 on the face mask, and then obviously the holding went from a first down on 4th and 3 to us having to punt a 4th and 13 situation. We can't go for that in that situation. So critical penalties. Got to look at making sure we're coaching those things to make sure that doesn't happen.
Okay, thanks, guys.